Well, we've hit the home stretch, and a magic number is within sight. What's up, everybody? I'm Jim Rodriguez, and welcome to the Tuesday here on Dodgers' latest home stretch. Indeed, last week of the regular season, Dodgers find themselves on a road trip to Arizona and Seattle with a chance to pop some champagne in the desert. Of course, you can always hit me up right there on Instagram and on X at JRodShow. We want to thank you for your support all season long. We'll be here throughout the playoffs as well, so we're not going anywhere here on Dodgers Latest. Like, subscribe, share, give those thumbs up here to our page here on the YouTube page at Dodgers Latest as the Dodgers get ready for World Championship number 9, and we've got some questions, and the first thing we need to do is kind of let you know where everything stands. And that's right, the Dodgers magic number sitting at 3 right now. Any combinations of Dodger wins and or Padre losses that equal 3, and it's Dodgers win their National League West championship once again. They've already clinched a playoff spot, their 13th straight playoff appearance. Worst they can do is be a wild card. So let's reset it for you. Dodgers magic number is 3. They're up 2.5 games on the Padres, who won last night against the Brewers. That half game gets made up on Thursday because the Dodgers will play, the Padres do not. So Dodgers are in Arizona and Seattle, and that's interesting because Arizona is behind the Mets and the Reds for the last wild card spot. They're 1 game out of the last wild card spot. So these games very important for Arizona, and the Dodgers go to Seattle. Seattle is 3 games up on Houston, so they're about ready to wrap up the American League West. Hopefully by the time the Dodgers get to Seattle, that business has been taken care of and there won't be any extra drama in the Pacific Northwest. So the Dodgers in Arizona and Seattle, 2.5 up on San Diego. Magic number is 3. The Padres are home all week. They play the Brewers and the Diamondbacks. Cincinnati is the last wild card team. They're tied with the Mets, but the Reds and Mets, their season series, Cincinnati holds the tiebreaker, so all the Reds have to do, they hold their own destiny in their hand. If they win out, they're in. It doesn't matter what the Mets do. Cincinnati will be hosting Pittsburgh and will be at Milwaukee. Brewers have already wrapped up their division. The Mets are on a road trip. They're at the Cubs and in Miami all week long. So it'll be an interesting spot while Arizona's playing the Dodgers, and they're at San Diego to close the regular season. So that's kind of how it works. Milwaukee's number 1. Philadelphia's clinched the number 2 seed, so the Brewers and Phillies will be off for the wild card series. Dodgers, once they win the West, they will host either the Reds, the Mets, the Diamondbacks, whoever is that last wild card team. Dodgers will host them at Dodger Stadium, and the Padres looks like they will be playing the Cubs in the wild card series. So interesting times as the Dodgers try to wrap it up. Dodgers could have wrapped it up tonight, but they will need since the magic number is an odd number, the magic number is 3. Dodgers will need either to win tonight and tomorrow and have San Diego lose 1 game. Any combination of 3, Dodger wins and or Padre losses, wraps it up for the Dodgers. Okay, so looking ahead, I think it's fair to look ahead. What does the bullpen look like, right? Dodgers may have a ace up their sleeve in Roki Sasaki. That's right, Roki Sasaki. Looks like he's going to be called up this week, and he will be brought in to pitch to hitters in this Diamondback series. Hasn't been in a big league game since May the 9th because he had a shoulder problem. He's been in AAA, and he's been pitching in relief. Dodgers feel that maybe, if all goes well this week, and maybe even in Seattle, Sasaki could be sort of an ace, a wild card, a long man, a bulk inning guy in the bullpen. Interesting. They've already got Emmett Sheehan in that role, unless they plan to use Emmett Sheehan if it goes to a 7-game series. You get to the League Championship Series, you get to the World Series. Now it's best of 7. Remember, the wild card is best of 3, Division Series best of 5. Then you start getting into the tall grass and the LCS and the World Series, where now you may have Emmett Sheehan transfer into a starter, maybe a Game 3, a Game 4 option. So what does that leave for Roki Sasaki? I don't know if you put him right away in the wild card series, even if he does well, maybe bring him in a couple of games this week and he dominates. I don't know if you put him on the roster. I still don't trust the guy. Maybe in a division series where you have a little bit more room, certainly in a league championship series, World Series environment where it's best of 7, maybe. I think Roki Sasaki's problem is up here. I think he's had problems physically, clearly, but I think it's up here. I think, to quote an NFL term, maybe he sees ghosts like Sam Darnold used to see with the Jets. I don't think he's ready for the bright lights of October. That's my opinion. Dodgers feel he could be a wild card. Another guy is Brock Stewart. Remember, the Dodgers traded for Brock Stewart to be a high-leverage, right-handed pitcher, 6th, 7th inning guy. He hasn't pitched since August 9th. So if they bring up Sasaki and they bring up Stewart, well, who's out? We know Tanner Scott's probably going to still be there as the closer. He's actually pitched well. He's had 4 scoreless appearances his last 4 times out, so he's pitched well. Blake Trinan's been awful. Blake Trinan has done something that hasn't been done in 100 years. The Dodgers' last 5 losses, Blake Trinan has been the losing pitcher in all 5 of those games. That hasn't been done since 1912. So does he have a spot? We know Vesia is going to be there. We know Banda. We know Kirby Yates. So where does that leave Enrique? Where does that leave Robleski, who had been the bulk guy? Where does that leave Jack Dreyer? I think Jack Dreyer needs to be there. I don't know about Robleski. I think if you bring Sasaki and if you bring Emmett Sheehan, I think Justin Robleski's out in that rotation. And again, we bring it all together. Where does Clayton Kershaw fit in all this? Again, I don't think Kershaw has a spot in the wild card series. Again, maybe if it's a best of 7, that's when we'll see the Hall of Famer for the Dodgers. So it's an interesting spot. Meanwhile, the Dodgers in Arizona trying to get their playoff rotation in order. It'll be Ohtani tonight, Snell tomorrow, and Yamamoto on Thursday. So how does that set everything up? Well, the wild card series starts on Tuesday, September 30th. If you want Yamamoto to pitch game 1 of that wild card series, and he pitches Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, that would be pitching on 5 days rest. That would be what a normal starter is. So Yamamoto could pitch game 1 of that wild card series against Cincinnati, the Mets, Arizona. That still need to be worked out. Or do you normally like to have Yamamoto pitch more than 5 days rest? You could pitch him in game 2. I think you go Yamamoto, I think you go Snell, and Glasnow. Those are your 3 guys in the rotation. And if you should happen to sweep, let's say you take care of the series in 2 games, it's best of 3. Now you've got Glasnow pitching Friday, or Saturday, I should say, in Philadelphia in game 1. If the series goes 3, that kind of complicates things because now everybody's pitching on short rest. Does Ohtani pitch game 1 in Philadelphia on Saturday, October 4th? Do you go with Emmett Sheehan? Is it a bullpen game? That's where it gets kind of complicated. So lots of stuff to think about. But again, I think you go Yamamoto, Snell, Glasnow in the wild card series. And the way the Dodgers are pitching this right now, it looks like that's how they're setting it up. And again, the ideal is to win both games. That way Glasnow pitches Friday and everybody's on full rest as you take on the Phillies in a 5-game series. Starting, by the way, in Citizens Bank Ballpark of Philadelphia. That's where the Dodgers would start. Dodgers would start on the road and not have home field advantage at all unless the Brewers and or Phillies get knocked out of the playoffs. So crazy stuff. Getting excited that at least we're talking about baseball and postseason baseball. That's the idea, right? That's what you want to do. And for the Dodgers, their 13th consecutive trip to the postseason. Now, will Will Smith be part of the postseason? We discovered that he's got a hairline fracture in his hand. He's not going to play any more regular season games. Dodgers are thinking he'll be ready for the wild card series again Tuesday, September 30th. A break, even a hairline fracture, that's 4 to 6 weeks, right? It doesn't heal overnight. Even if he's got a brace, how's that? If he puts a padding on it, will that affect his catching? Will that affect his hitting? Certainly will it affect his hitting. That's what we need to work out. I think the Dodgers right now are doing it with Dalton Rushing, who's banged up himself, by the way, and Ben Rortvedt, who has been on fire, by the way. Ben Rutherford, he's been the Tommy Edman so far of this team in the postseason, hitting over 300 and actually doing a great job catching as the Dodgers pitchers have gone deep into games and multiple no-hit opportunities. So Ben Rutherford has done a good job. I think you're not going to start a playoff series without Will Smith on the roster. I think there's just no way to do it. He'll find some way to get in there. Again, hairline fracture. It happened because he took a foul ball off his hand. Guy avoided injury all year long, and now, was even flirting with the National League batting title, and now he's trying to stay healthy and just get across the finish line. But he will not play any more games in the regular season, and hopefully we'll have him ready for Tuesday, Game 1 of the Wild Card Series at Dodger Stadium. Exciting stuff. 3 in Arizona, 3 in Seattle. As things start to shake out a little bit, we'll get it for you there. Dodgers' magic number is 3. And they are the NL West champs again. Remember to hit me up on Instagram and on X at JRodShow. Of course, would love to hear your opinion. Should Sasaki be on the roster? Should Kershaw be there? Is Emmett Sheehan going to be a bullpen guy? Would you want him as a starter? Lots of questions, and it's all going to unfold in the next couple of weeks. I'm Jim Rodriguez, and remember, it's always time for Dodger baseball.